Battle through the firmament. Grand World. Chapter 312. The second match. Lu Xiangyang's hands were like a dragon as he attacked Wu Shaoqi with a force that could pierce through clouds and shatter rocks. The origin key was surging, obviously not holding back at all. Wu Shaoqi frowned slightly, but her expression did not change at all. The origin monic kiss on her delicate hands were overflowing in all directions. She was still using up the attack of the fire dragon in front of her. It seemed like she did not have the slightest bit of defense against Lu Xiangyang's attack. Elder Wu frowned but still did not shout out. Under such circumstances, he could only watch from the sidelines. Boom! Lu Xiangyang's palms hit Wu Shaoqi's back hard. In an instant, with a loud bang, the joy in Lu Xiangyang's eyes disappeared. Wu Shaoqi, who was standing in front of him, slowly vanished. Oh! In an instant, Lu Xiangyang sensed something. His body flashed, and he barely dodged Wu Shaoqi's unassuming heavy punch. The faint pain on his shoulder caused Lu Xiangyang to frown. He looked at Wu Shaoqi, who was slowly appearing, and his eyes were as dark as water. You want to compete with me in speed? Wu Shaoqi looked at Lu Xiangyang with a smile, but her aura did not stop at all. It continuously surged within her body. In just one round, she could already feel the origin monic key in her body becoming sluggish. It was extremely difficult to pass through. I have forgotten about this. Lu Xiangyang clenched his teeth, after which, he let out a soft snort. Both of his hands suddenly stretched out. Majestic origin monic kiss surged out from his palms, causing the whistling wind on the mountaintop to stop. It also attracted everyone's attention. The powerful strength that Lu Xiangyang had suddenly unleashed shocked Wu Shaoqi, after which, a smile appeared on her pretty face. This feeling was the real battle. As she thought about it, Hong Long. The origin monic key in Wu Shaoqi's body started roaring crazily. Since that was the case, she should show the strength that she had obtained from cultivating in the illusory spirit realm. In an instant, two vast energies soared to the sky from the top of the heaven pillar peak. The powerful energy waves caused the elders to frown. In just half a year, these two people had become even stronger. Xiaoyan's eyes were also filled with seriousness. Although Wu Shaoqi and Lu Xiangyang's strength was only at the sovereign realm, he believed that with their strength, they would be able to exchange a few blows even if they were at the Monic Emperor. Back then, Yuan Shenmu's strength had already reached the peak of Monic King. Although Wu Shaoqi and Lu Xiangyang's strength was far from that, they had also reached the strength of 5 sovereign realms. Thunder Fire Emperor Technique. Lu Xiangyang suddenly lifted his head. Both of his eyes were filled with a scarlet red color. His hands were suddenly pressed together. In the next moment, a majestic origin monic key surged out like lightning and smashed towards Wu Shaoqi. Along the way, the lightning was furious, and scarlet red hair shook the space. Heaven Fighting Seal. Wu Shaoqi gently shouted. Her hands were placed in front of her chest. A bright light rose from her palm. Within the light, a seal the size of her palm was dancing. The power contained within it caused Xiaoyan's expression to change slightly. Is this the monic skill that Juanghe cast? Sensing the familiar feeling, Xiaoyan could not help but be stunned for a moment. Then, he frowned. The heaven fighting seal that Wu Shaoqi used was not only stronger than Juanghe's. There seemed to be some other feeling in it. Elder Wu was startled as well. He was extremely familiar with Wu Shaoqi's heaven fighting seal. When she came out of the illusory spirit realm, he had also experienced the power of the heaven fighting seal. In just a few days, he could feel a strange feeling from it. It was hard to tell what it was. In the next moment, in front of everyone's eyes, the palm-sized seal whistled past and gently collided with Lu Xiangyang's lightning fire emperor technique. After casting the monic skill, both of their faces turned slightly pale. At the peak of the heaven pillar peak, using the monic skill had consumed nearly twice as much origin monic ki as before. Both of them felt a wave of powerlessness in their bodies. It could be said that this was the time to witness the outcome of the battle. Buzz. There was no expected explosion. There was only an ear-piercing vibration. The brilliance that filled the sky was dazzling. Waves of aftershocks struck. Even the experts of Realm in Valley felt a sharp pain on their skin. At this moment, although Wushauqi's pretty face was pale, her brows were as firm as ever. Her delicate hand moved continuously, and she controlled the circulation of the heaven fighting seal with all her heart. After the enlightenment from before, she was able to control the circulation of the heaven fighting seal skillfully. Compared to Wushauqi's relaxed state, Lu Xiangyang was in extreme pain. The lack of the origin monic key in his body, coupled with the strong gales on the mountaintop, made it extremely difficult for him to breathe. Under the attack of Wushauqi's heaven fighting seal, his Thunder Fire Emperor technique actually showed signs of collapsing. "Big brother, how is it?" Mahiyu's purple eyes looked at the two people on the stage. She smiled and looked at Mahuyang with a sweet smile. Now it seems that Wushauqi should be stronger. Mahuyang nodded his head. His eyes revealed a trace of a smile. The strength of this batch's soaring dragon ranking was quite strong. However, compared to the past him, it was still much weaker. Not far away, Lindao's body was as straight as a long spear. He crossed his arms across his chest, and his eyes sparkled. He remained silent. Jushinho sat cross-legged and looked at Lu Xiangyang, who was in a disadvantageous position. There was no change in his expression. Damn it, Lu Xiangyang's face was pale, his head buzzed, and the lightning fire emperor technique nearly collapsed. Immediately, he clenched his teeth and gently stroked the storage ring with his finger. A paper talisman quietly appeared between his fingers. The red color on the paper talisman was even purer. It was just like a burning flame. Chi. He quietly inserted a thread of the origin monic key into the paper talisman. In an instant, the paper talisman flashed like a bolt of lightning. In an instant, it arrived in front of the heaven fighting seal and exploded. In an instant, raging flames fell from the sky. The flames roared ferociously, completely surrounding the heaven fighting seal. At the same time, the fire source key in the air surged towards them, infusing into the raging flames. In the blink of an eye, Hong Long, Wushauqi was shocked by the sudden attack. The flame seemed to originate from the heaven and earth. The powerful heaven fighting seal was unable to destroy it in the slightest. Along with the infusion of the fire source key, it felt like it was burning more and more intensely. Wushauqi's chest suddenly sank. The corner of her pale mouth immediately turned dark red. Her delicate body also trembled, and the heaven fighting seal was instantly pulled back quite a bit. What's going on? When everyone saw this, they were all shocked. From gaining the upper hand to suddenly retreating, even Elder Wu couldn't see what had happened clearly. Although Mahiyu could see it clearly, she was also filled with doubt. What exactly was that red paper talisman? It was extremely similar to the red explosive killing talisman, but also completely different. Different from everyone's shock, Jushinho only glanced at Lu Xiangyang, then looked at Wushauqi. Under the attack of his sacred spirit fire body, he did not know how long this soaring dragon ranking's second expert could last. Wushauqi, admit defeat. I don't want to hurt you. Lu Xiangyang, who had the upper hand, finally let out a soft sigh. After that, he spoke in a clear voice. The current situation was completely in his hands. Being forced back by Lu Xiangyang's attack, Wushauqi's eyes were filled with unwillingness. She seemed to hesitate for a moment before she moved her delicate hand and was about to unleash the monic skill. That's enough. Wushauqi, you have lost. Elder Wu saw Wushauqi's movement from afar and immediately cut off his voice. His thunderous voice suddenly startled everyone. Wushauqi's eyes flickered after being forcefully interrupted by Elder Wu. Just now, she had helplessly let go of her hand. It was also true that it was only a competition, and there was no need to use that move. All right, I have lost. Wushauqi pouted. She was still unwilling in her heart. After which, she looked at Lu Xiangyang and snorted softly. She turned around and left the arena. Seeing Wushauqi admit defeat so straightforwardly, Lu Xiangyang was also stunned. He then looked at the latter in surprise. From Elder Wu's words, Did Wuxiaoqi still have an ultimate move that she had yet to use? When he thought of this, Lu Xiangyang snorted coldly. The origin monarch key in his hand dispersed. No matter what, he had still won against Wuxiaoqi. He was the leader of the punishment department. Wuxiaoqi's sudden admission of defeat stunned everyone. Even Ma Huyang let out a soft exclamation of surprise. He didn't understand what was going on. However, Xiaoyan's eyes were staring at the slowly dissipating flames on the battlefield. The excitement in his heart was getting stronger and stronger. He glanced at Wuxiaoqi, and the latter sat beside him with an air of righteousness. With an unhappy expression, Elder Wu could not help but let out a bitter laugh. It was fortunate that this little girl did not use that powerful move. Otherwise, Lu Xiangyang might not even be able to crawl anymore, but Wuxiaoqi's lifespan would also be greatly reduced. That move, she definitely couldn't use it unless it was a critical moment. Alright, next match, Xiaoyan and Zhu Shenhe. He shook his head. Elder Wu looked at the stage and said in a clear voice. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.